If you have a different opinion, no problem. Like, if you tell me they shouldn't give a deal to Trent Williams, they should cut Trent Williams, they should trade him, there's not a right opinion here. Cool. One thing I cannot abide is just when people call in with things that are not correct. And then just the casual confidence. It's like sitting at a game next to someone who's like, this guy here, Soto, he just got called up last week. And I'm like, oh, my God, get me out of here. But that guy's like, as you guys know, it's voted on by the player. No, it isn't. That's not correct.
Right. And in fact, if you look at it, for whatever it's worth, he has been to 7 Pro Bowls. I guess he doesn't care about that. And as far as being all-pro, depending upon I don't know what the official All-Pro is, right? So Associated Press All-Pro, he's made
so
one
it's
time.
AP at this point. Yeah, he was the second-team All-Pro. I mean, like Zach Brown was the second-team All-Pro with the Buffalo Bills his last year there, and then they let him walk. Basically,
Right.
That's an indication that you're the second-best, quote-unquote, player at your position, theoretically. I mean, but the thing
But
of it
by
is,
other, hold on for a second, Grant. But by other publications, for whatever it's worth, I mean, some people like Pro Football Focus, some don't. They had
To me, I think what I generally use is that there's a lot of metrics, obviously. If you watch him enough, you see that he's an elite talent. Now, he plays hurt at times. He isn't always at 100%. But he can do things at his position that maybe one or two other guys in the league can, just from an athletic standpoint. The dude's running point and going between his legs and dunking on a basketball court. The left tackles in the league that can do that, you can count on one hand. And when he gets out in front, I mean, he's as good a tackle in space as there's maybe ever been.
I'm sure he can't anymore, but coming into the league, right, at the combine, at 315, he ran a 4.8, and he had a 34.5-inch vertical.
He's
that
a super
is
freak.
insane.
That
At 315 pounds, to have a 35-inch vertical?
Oh, it's sick.
I mean, it's just there aren't many humans in the world that can do that.
I'm the big believer in kind of knocking the fact that the Redskins haven't had an All-Pro since Matt Turk as a punter in 1996, which is the most staggering statistic ever.
Sean Taylor was never an All-Pro?
No, he was not a first-team All-Pro. But that said, I think that you have to a lot of times be good to garner that kind of national attention. I think a lot of guys over the years maybe could have been knocking on the door. You don't get those accolades because you play on a terrible team. I'm conflicted on this. You guys, I think, have done a good job covering this. Like, to me, I'm normally pro-player. These guys have a short time to get paid. But when you get a huge contract, 6 and almost 70, and then you get right back in line because other people after you have gotten their meals now, and you see that theirs are more delicious, it's tough for me. But I think the big development, I'm happy with their medical staff. Told him for a while, according to someone I talked to, that he was not dealing with anything that was to worry about, and he's answers. It really, really bothered him.
Well, I thought it said it wasn't. I thought it turned out that it wasn't. That it was
No, when he went to the doctor originally, he got a scare that it was, and I think at that point, basically, that was the team. That was who the team sent him to in Virginia.
Right.
And he had this terrible scare where then he had to go to Chicago and get a procedure done where they cleaned up whatever it was, and I think the miscommunication and confusion really soured him on a medical staff that has had its issues over the years, obviously.
But the question is this still part of the leverage play, or is he legitimately pissed and won't play for the Redskins at all? That's the question.
And that's $1 million question that no one has an answer to. Do you guys really think he's not going to play? I mean, if they just play hardball,
he's going to play.
Yeah, that dude's going to show up. What are you going to do? Sit out like Le'Veon Bell did and skip out on $13 million?
No, he's not doing that.
I'll go so far. Jason won't. I'll go so far as say I don't believe that it's accurate that he has told people that he'll never play for the Redskins again. I don't believe that portion of the report, just for whatever it's worth.
EB, if he did that, it's a power play, right? I mean, if he did that, it's just like, what else do you say to actually get them to appease you?
Right.
I don't think he actually feels that way. I don't know how he could.
Right.
And maybe none of this matters because they're not going to be that good this year, and ultimately they just throw their hands up and say, well, let's rebuild. But you got a kid quarterback you got to protect, and the reason he's got the leverage to do this now is that Ty Nseki's in Buffalo. I mean, Jerron Christian stunk last year, and Eric Flowers is not an NFL tackle who's now running at left tackle.
He's got all the leverage in the world.
Yeah.
But the Redskins still could say, sorry, dude, you got $25 million we're going to pay you for 2 years.
Live up to your deal.
You signed it 5 years or 3 years ago.
Exactly.
We'll call you bluff. I'll call you bluff.
And I
Trent.
think what Williams is real worried about is you can get out of his deal at the end of this season, as you guys have mentioned, for almost nothing. Basically, for $1 million in dead cap, they could cut him. So let's just say he went into this year, he played 7 games, and the field glasses guy is right, and he has his 7-game season, and he misses 9. And they say he's now 31. He'll be 32 in July. He gets hurt all the time, and we think he's declining. They got to get out of jail free card to cut him, and he'll never see the last year of that deal. So for him, it's kind of now or never time if he wants to be paid again. I don't see the team doing what he wants. I don't know for them what there is to be earned just because he's about to be 31 and he's missed 27% of their games over the last 3 years.